gonna start up
Josh,
some
you should have messaged
stream.
us your prompt so that we could prepare.
Well, hello the internet, and welcome to Reed criticizing me.
No, that's right. Keep it up, Reed.
The most entertaining part about Reed criticizing me is it comes after me criticizing him and not having anything to back it up because I have not created a better prompt yet.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Wow. I just want to point out to the world that my prompt, while not being our
It's terrible.
typical,
It's trash.
All of us agree, including Amanda, who's on your side.
Yeah, I'm on your side, but it is a little meh.
Well, so my thought was, we've spent all the time doing like, oh, what was their life like before the fall? And I don't want us to like wear that out. Here we have something
that's going to be every day.
Yeah,
that's the point.
That's what it is, though. Yeah.
That's the consistent aspect is we're trying to we open up every session with the good that was in order to knock it down to the bad that is. Like that's the purpose of it, is to create for our audience every session the dichotomy that these characters are feeling every day.
I also just wanted to make sure that we don't have to spend that much time in
I think
game.
it would be really funny to deal with you guys getting a boat, because I don't remember, was everyone there for the sale of the boat, or was it only some of you who know that the boat is no longer yours?
We're there.
You were all
That's
there?
so much minutia that I didn't really want to have us wasting too much time on it.
Anyway, I do have a prompt, by the way. I had thought of one that I forgot I had thought of, that I liked, and that I remembered now. Thank you for booing me.
Boo, you suck!
Why?
Woo!
Get better material.
So would you like to play my game in the world I created and follow along the storyline that I have intricately put together?
No.
It's so much better.
All of you suck. Anyway, welcome to the world of Daius, where the gods once walked amongst the mortals until war took over and slew them all. And let us join our intrepid heroes who are venturing across the land, bringing hope, the godling, to everyone. We are just now leaving the Geminite Bastion and making our way towards the Citadel. The prompt I'd like to give everyone is, what was the first time you experienced a death? What was the first experience in your pre-horror world that you encountered death? And how did that resonate with you? And
Does it have to be or anything?
What was that?
Does it have to be human, or can it be a death of any animal?
Whatever your character would associate death with. Like, some people nowadays see when they see a dying animal on the side of the road, that's their first encounter with death. Other people, it's when they go to their grandmother's funeral for the first time. So whatever you believe your character's association with death began, I would like a brief look at that. While we do that, while y'all figure it out, though, unless someone has something right now. Great. We'll do a brief recap of what happened last time, because last time was a little juicy and a little bit involved with death. So last session began, I believe, with heading towards Merritt, who you were told was a follower of war. After convincing Merritt that you were not going to harm him and that you just wanted to talk, you managed to make your way into his incredibly thoroughly booby-trapped building to have a conversation where you found out that Merritt had actually abandoned war when war slew the other gods, because it's not the way war should have been. And you found yourself an ally in Merritt, and instead Merritt directed you towards Councilman Tenbor, who in fact was a follower of war. As you approached his house, he came to address you, and through conversing and accusing him of potentially being a problem, he then tried to kill all of you, for which you managed to incapacitate him, drag him inside the building, and search his place, where you found nothing until I gave you all more opportunities to search, and then Sundry managed to find the one thing that opened up the secret panel to show that Tenbor was actually a disciple of torture. Being a torture priest, he has allied himself with war and has been informing war of your deeds and actions and the fact that you are here. He then tried to torture himself to gain more magics, and you managed to stop him. And Anai went to go get the bartender and explain what happened, who then came over, decapitated Tenbor, and took the city into her own hands. You then returned to Merritt, who gave you a magical stone and said that you can contact him via the stone after you have defeated an enemy in battle. You then felt that you have accomplished your deeds and went back to the grove to retrieve the Godling of Hope, only to find that the Godling had a lollipop. And that made some of you very uncomfortable, especially Madame Sundry, who yelled at this poor grove tender who had no idea what was going on. Who then explained that a woman in a dress and a fake mustache came over and gave the lollipop to the Godling, who then ate the lollipop. I don't believe much else happened. I don't remember if anything else happened there. And then we ended...
Yeah, go ahead. You're about to get to what I was...
And then we ended our session with a discussion of where to go next.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, where were we going next? What were you going to say?
With Anai, after we leave the village, showing that she could cast light, and telling us that she started channeling hope.
So that was on your campsite outside the city, which you got to after leaving the city, which you did after retrieving a boat, which we have not yet explained how you did. So we're going to briefly go over that, or we will ignore it forever.
We're gonna ignore it.
So we arrive at the lake.
We hired a charter to take us up to the northern lake.
All right. So you have a boat,
or
yes.
or not.
No. We've decided.
We chartered a trip. We did not buy a boat. We chartered a trip.
So,
Josh, I have my answer too.
Zuba's either chugging or frozen. Oh, he was chugging. Wow. I'm impressed.
Yo, what did I even trade for that fucking boat?
Anyway,
what?
Nonsense. Denali.
Stupid shit.
Utter nonsense.
So, we're going to... Everyone, you've now had time to think about your prompt. What was your character's first encounter with death? The moment that the innocence of immortality was shattered, and your first encounter with death.
I'll go. So, Bronson growing up in the north, and while his parents weren't necessarily like the practitioners of passage that he was, they did know some of the rites, and they had a more nuanced understanding of the relationship of passage and death in the world. And this was epitomized to Bronson when he was a young boy, and he had to make his first hunt and his first kill.
Reading me out last night.
It wasn't like his father or the other adult men of the tribe, where they were bringing back deer or bison or what have you. He ended up just being tasked with trapping a squirrel. But he came out the next day and found that he had in fact trapped and killed a squirrel, or trapped a squirrel, but was still alive. So Bronson, knowing what needed to be done, took a rock to it, and he didn't really think much about it. He never really thought that much about the animals around him being other living things. But once he snuffed out this life and skinned it and had it cooking on the fire, he understood that there was a place for death in the world and in the natural cycle. So he didn't hate death, and he would never, from this moment forward, he understood that he, in fact, would die. But this educated him as to the fact that death is just another part of life.
End scene. Crunch.
So, and I'll go next. We see a Nye very, very young, comparatively. Like, right now, I don't even know if I have given a Nye an age. I don't even know if a Nye knows how old she is.
She does not.
But that's a different story. I did give her an age. But we're talking young. So we're talking like 20 years old for a dwarf, so still very young. And she had a parrot. Pet parrot that she took care of and did lots of drawings and painting this beautiful bird of paradise that really grasped all of the colors and beauty that contained within a small animal. And as all animals do, the parrot passed. Yeah, it was an 0-1 flyer. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to their mana pool.
Thanks.
Originally on the art of Volcanic Island, but
Yeah.
or Tropical Island. Yeah. I get what you mean. But yeah, she took care of this bird and loved this bird deeply. But as she grew older, being the extended lifespan of a human compared to, a parrot, it died, and she was overcome with grief and was unable to really express it until the same shadowy, fuzzed-faced individual that we've seen before, that we clearly know, we get this essence that this is who she eventually falls in love with and makes a family with, puts her hand on her shoulder and says, you've kept the parrot alive through your paintings, and has shown her the beauty of her art and how it can encapsulate people and moments.
And places and memories. That was a sweet one. I liked that one. Good job.
So Griswold grew up in the Bloodfields, which are not quite the best place to grow up and have a happy childhood without seeing death.
Especially not the Eastern Bloodfields.
Yeah. So Griswold saw death very young, but he didn't really understand it or know what it meant for a long time. And then one day, Griswold comes across a man who's dying but not dead yet. And Griswold sees him die before him.
You can make cards.
And then he just becomes another man to Griswold,
Just have a deck
laying
of
in the
cards.
gutter like everyone else. But
really
seeing
know
that
how it
life
works.
past, it changed Griswold. But he also knew he was the first here, before anyone else. And he realized what the dead have to offer. And so he took what was there.
Wow. That's much darker. Got 2 more. Let's go. And then I got another prompt for you.
Oh boy, okay. This one with even less notice.
Mm-hmm.
So Rorik's family would go into town when they learned of... Oh, is it pasta time? It's pasta time.
Thank you. So Rorik's family would go into town and pay respects and bring offerings to mourning families, mostly food. And, most of the time when I was along in these trips, it was already days since the person had passed. So I never really associated with those trips with death at first, because it was just a good deed that we were doing. Contributing for these families, until he visited one home where the person was not yet dead, but very sick and very old. And he could tell that this person was laboring to breathe and just struggling with every moment. And he learned through that experience that death is not necessarily an evil thing, but can be a gift to some.
All right. Sundry.
Madame Sundry was around 8 years old. The sun rose like any other normal day. She went to her special place at the edge of the village, sat and was ready to listen and receive information from her deity. Her deity that had shown her all these visions, all these things that would come to pass. In the very back of her mind, Betsy Sundry heard these words. In the woods lies a gift to earn, possessions and riches, both mourned and yearned. Betsy Sundry kind of held a smile. She knew, okay, this is a very good omen. There's going to be a deer or some large bear or something very, very tasty that might be naturally dying at the edge of the forest at the cusp of the village. It's happened a few times before. She would stumble upon it, it would be brought back to the village, and it would be fresh meat without a lot of work to do and a great resource not to waste. Betsy Sundry went off very, very early, before the sun was up, maybe 4 a.m. Didn't find any deer at the edge of the woods near her village, struggling to survive. She did not find any bears at the edge of her village, struggling to survive. What she saw was a bloodied human, one arm broken, one leg broken, and the other obliterated, slowly inching, crawling towards the city. She saw him pull out of his vest pocket potion, glug, 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 toss. After potion, glug, 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 toss. After magical looking food that he scarfed down in agony, trying to keep his life alive. Hours passed, and Betsy Sundry, she didn't know anything that she could do. The only thing that she has been told and trained by practice with this deity of hers is to just wait and watch. She watched for hours. Finally, the body stopped moving. And an hour or two later, she saw some critters in the woods start to sniff at the humanoid body. And after another hour of just waiting, too scared to approach it, she saw a friend from the village approach the body, find a satchel of gold, find 2 more health potions that hadn't been drunk, and skipped away gleefully at the riches that were there. Madame Sundry, for one of the first times, really became afraid of her deity. This deity was someone that didn't care if someone died, be they innocent or guilty. This deity would only tell facts. Maybe not even truth, but just facts. Madame Sundry was sick to her stomach for the rest of the day.
Okay. So we've now experienced the first taste of death and how that impacted all of you in a time when times were good and innocent. Now I want to know the first time you realized after the war death did not impact you the same way. The first time you realize you have been calloused to death.
I got one right away.
All right.
There was a small village Betsy Sundry was passing through. In this village, like many of the others, maybe heard her name on the wind, maybe knew of her reputation, but she was approached nonetheless by some of the younger women in the village. "Oh, you must be Madame Sundry. You can tell all. Your beauty knows. And these are such troubled times. Please, we need your guidance." And what these young women would ask is, "Will he come home? Will my husband come home? Will he come home from our children, for our farm, for our families?" The answer Betsy Sundry found for all of these cases was no. He didn't really have the heart to say it so bluntly. So, in her majestic yet cryptic way, she phrased it as a poem or a rhyme in which the fields would be reaped, but not of wheat. They'd be reaped of souls, and the village would not grow as strong. And the women and the mothers and the elders and the children, they took it as some wise fact. Madame Sundry left that village the next day. In that same day, all the young men who had gone off to battle, none of them returned. Betsy Sundry sighed and said, another day, another prophecy."
Oh my god.
So
She couldn't
That's why I
prevent
take a little
anyone from
bit, because
dying,
it's so
therefore
good.
she felt nothing.
I would like to say, before we go to the next one, I would like to point out the Sundry, because this is just so perfect. You know that Bronson doesn't like you.
I know.
You know that he's heard either you or an I talk about you having these crazy visions.
Yep.
And you have some inkling that Bronson was in the war.
Sweet. I'll remember that.
Who wants to go next?
I can go. My answer is going to be a little off.
Yeah.
So the problem here is that Bronson from a young age was not super phased by death. He learned very young to deal with it. The thing that changed for him was not any one person dying or any one soldier. It was his realization that death itself was not doing what it was supposed to. Ever since he had killed that squirrel, he had learned that death was a natural part of the cycle, and that the god death, their purpose was to help souls move on and to, in some cases, recycle that energy and maintain things as they were. When passage was struck down, Bronson waited and braced for the day that death too would come, or death too would be knocked to the earth. And that never happened. And so even though he hadn't met hope yet, Bronson knew that death either turned against them or didn't care. So Bronson now knows that the god death is not working to maintain the world. It's not doing the job that it's supposed to. And so he didn't go numb, but this hurt him more. This made him not numb to death, as he could no longer tell people that they're peacefully transitioning to the next world.
Nice. Just drop the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda just dropped the mic.
With an eye. So this isn't actually post-war. This is actually in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And before she was fully outcast, and was still being brought in to be a peacemaker and trying to barter for treaties. And as one often does, you meet in no man's land, the space in between the lines. And towards the end of the war, she was asked to come in and help barter something, and we see her strolling amidst a wake of corpses that have been left behind, of the dead and dying. Not everyone, like several soldiers left behind, as she's walking through no man's land trying to find a place to meet and bring peace. When years ago it was her first couple times coming out to these peace talks, she would often weep. But here we see her look with a hardened stare and just casually lose, like, reverence of the dead is lost. She's stepped on top of bodies as she walks to find the meeting space.
So Griswold was numb to death very early. Nothing really changed.
Wait. The weird guy that like is just has zombies around is numb to death. Who would have thunk that?
Yeah. As you saw, he saw death very early in his life before anybody really should. But the moment that things really changed for him is when he was cast out with Orson and Kendrick, and they died, and it didn't matter. They were his friends, but it didn't matter. But what bothered him was that they didn't have anything to offer.
Wow.
So, Rourke was on the road, halfway between two villages. He heard screaming, a woman yelling for help. He picked up the pace and managed to get there just in time to see some bandits ruffling through a wagon and blood all across the road. They saw him, grabbed a few more things, and scampered off, not wanting to get into a more serious fight. But he came upon the wagon to find a woman and child just slaughtered in the middle of the street. Nothing he could do about it. It was far too late. There were several bandits. He wasn't going to try to chase them down for revenge or avenge these people he didn't even know. So he peers into the wagon, picks the last couple of valuables out, thinking that at least he can pass these on, donate them, bring them to the next village, maybe find the family that they were supposed to be traveling to. But he didn't even look back, just kept on going.
So we've now returned to Dias as it is, a broken landscape with broken people. Our party is traveling north via boat.
Traveling west.
Sorry, west. Yes. Southwest-ish, but mostly west.
South by southwest?
No, west by southwest, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But you are passing by. Not all of you may be familiar with the old empire as it stands, or even the empire as it stood before. Bronson, I know you've interacted with the Empire in the times of peace, but I don't know if you ever learned their political layouts. And
Bronson would not give a shit.
Right. And Griswold has never been before. Sundry has spent some time traveling about, so has Anai. Rorik, I'm not sure how much of the Empire you were affiliated with, where it is within it you lived, or if you came from somewhere else. But you, Isaac, don't really know that either, but you can tell me, I'll
Right.
tell you.
I was going to say, yeah, I haven't quite figured that out, but that's fine.
I mean, you're from the Empire. You might actually be from Aragorn. So there was the Empire as it stood before was, I believe, set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kingdoms, 6 different lands that were all united underneath the Emperor. And throughout the reign of the Empire, each of the lands was given basically autonomy that was minutely influenced, similar to the way, like, less strict than the state and the federal government, kind of, but they all functioned basically how they were before, just under an empire as well. Aragorn, which is the region you're actually traveling through, the space between the forest's edge, which is where this dirt path is between the bastions, is the edge of the forest. And the lakes, this whole land between the rivers was Aragorn, which was a entire country made of essentially a single enormous farming commune. So it's possible this is this whole space is where, Rorik, you may have been from before. It would make sense with a lot of your background. That being said, since the war, the Empire, which stretched for, I think the old Empire, as we see it currently, is maybe a sixth of the total size of the Empire before. And so when war broke out, many fled and tried to seek safety, and the only safety that was truly safe was what now remains of the old Empire within the waterways. And since Aragorn was a nice, open space, that's where most of the refugees ended up. So I'm not sure, Rorik, if you've been through since the height of the war, but I know Anai and Sundry have seen it. But as you travel up the river, you look off the coast, and all you can see are tents and farms. But these tents are kind of clumped together. The people you see look miserable, broken. It is more crowded where there are people than it should be. It is a very dreary landscape as you start kind of moving west through it. I don't know if your intentions were to make it all the way to the lake, or if you were going to hit the first dirt road. But this is what you're passing
so I
through.
was going to say that for the sake of anyone viewing, if anyone's on Twitch, when we talked after hours when Josh left, our decision was that we were going to the river to the first Great Lake. There we go. And then from there, we're going to take what I'm guessing is some type of brick or like more worn-in road south, and then head west from there to the Citadel. Speaking of all this, there was one important thing that we forgot to mention in the recap, which is that we are officially being chased. They are well behind, but we are being chased by 3 war priests.
Known as the Hounds.
Which, Josh, I really enjoyed, because I don't think you were here for this, but I was talking at one point about how I would love in this campaign or another to have a chase like the 9 Riders chasing the Hobbits or Aragorn.
This is going to
I
be
think I
very
had a
similar.
dream about that too, about a chase sequence in D&D, which is like kind of hard to pull off.
Extremely hard to pull off. I have some
Yeah, like-
plans which may or may not happen as to how to make this interesting and fun. And I'll let you know months from now if they ever catch you what's happening.
So
stay
don't
tuned.
let them catch us.
Or let them catch you and then see what I have planned.
That sounds
No.
like more fun.
Try to not let them catch us.
There you go.
Yes, we are heading along the river for the first couple days. Also, our main goal, once we get to the lake, I'm guessing, is to try and find some type of military outpost so we can warn them that a war priest made it to the east coast and that more are coming.
So, I'd like to go to our characters on this barge this boat being sailed upriver. It's a slow and arduous task, and everybody except Griswold has an opinion of what you're passing. To the south of the river, Anai, Sundry, and Rorik see this broken landscape that they're familiar with. Anai is reminded of all the mistakes she made trying to maintain peace. Rorik is aware of the home he has lost. And Sundry is just this kingdom that has taken her in, that she has failed. Bronson, looking north, sees the land that his people attacked and destroyed this empire who there was some amount of peace with before, and knows of the calamities of the battles that happened on the north side of this river. In fact, the north side of this river, I believe, is where the battle with Bronson's tribe happened. Probably just up here, which is how Bronson made
say
his way.
that. Are you talking about the last battle that they were at?
Yeah, the one where you got separated.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. That's how you made your way into the Empire, is you ran from the battle and snuck in. So you didn't realize, because you're not necessarily 100% aware of the map and not really paying attention to what's going on, but you didn't realize you'd be passing by the fields where you lost your daughter.
Whoa.
So I'd like to snap in on everyone. I mean, Griswold has literally no opinion of what's happening right now. So I would very much like to see if any of you are talking, what you'd be talking about. This is probably 6 hours, 12 hours after you left. It's been a good day of sailing by the time you pass the first. Let's see. Yeah, so by the time we're about here, it's probably 8 hours into the day. You left at. When did you leave? You left that night, right?
I thought we left like early evening, late afternoon, early evening time frame.
Okay.
Probably evening.
So in that case, for the sake of cinematics, we're going to say that you're passing by here sundown. That's only a couple hours later. Whatever. However you acquired the ship may have taken later. You may have left in the middle of the night. It'll be dawn by the time you're coming across here. So the dawn light is shining on all of your failures. So if you'd like to do roleplay on the boat, this is the time.
The scene opens with Madame Sundry bouncing Hope on her shoulder. She starts to burp him. He may or may not release a godly belch.
Sundry, make a religion roll.
Coming at you.
First roll of the night.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a one.
That's scary.
Religion.
Mm-hmm.
1 inbound.
Woo!
Oh fuck! Well, I'm a liar.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper to you real quick.
How holy was the burp?
Okay. So you have not interacted with Hope yet since receiving the lollipop.
Oh fuck yeah!
And I have given you. You've gotten a boon from Hope already, right? Have you not?
What would that be / look like?
You would know what it is if I have already done it for you. Hold on, let me see your sheet.
I got a family goblet. I got a side quest. I don't think so.
Oh, you have not. Perfect. So,
Hey, stop fucking around with my sheet.
you were sitting, you're touching, you're burping Hope, and you realize it is larger than when you last interacted with it.
Oh boy.
And it feels there's more power there.
Mm-hmm.
And the power you're feeling from it is just it burps, and that burp just kind of hits you with this wave of power you haven't felt since you lost your grasp with fortune. And it awakens in you a long lost ability that you thought you'd never be able to feel again. You have the ability to cast a light cantrip.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Thank you.
And you realize from this religion roll, Hope is getting more powerful. And you are able to tap into Hope's magic the way you were able to tap into other magics before. Maybe as Hope increases in power, this will also increase. Who knows? So we're gonna return to everybody now.
Yeah.
Continue with your bouncing baby story.
Yeah, so Madame Sundry is there bouncing Hope on her shoulder, and he gives out a small belch. That belch leads him to have a little bit of baby spill vomit end up on Madame Sundry's shoulder. But unlike normal baby vomit, which is milky colored and gross, this vomit sparkles. And Madame Sundry grins as it lands on her shoulder, and she feels, that feels pretty good. Please don't do it again, but I don't think I mind. There, Hope. There. And you've never seen someone with vomit on their shoulder in such a chipper mood.
Josh, how large is the battlefield to the north?
I mean, the entire north is the battlefield. It was probably the specific place where you were fighting probably spanned about a square mile. So not enormous, but on foot, that's pretty big.
That's relatively sizable.
Yeah. So you'll pass by it very quickly. It just so happens that as the dawn light shines on the landscape, you recognize this particular patch of land. You could, if you requested.
How long would it take?
It would probably be a 4-hour detour.
I need to stop on the north side.
What for? Sorry, Anai doesn't say that. Anai's like, stopping would be good as she's clutched to whatever the most tied down object is. She was better on the boat. This being a barge and, small rails that she could easily fall off of. Mm-hmm. She's not super static. She's like huddled up on the middle, just clutching white knuckled onto some crates and just like not focusing on her surroundings at all.
How much time do you need?
Be a couple hours, probably until afternoon.
We could drop you off and then spend some time in the refugee camp spreading hope or showing hope. I don't know.
I know I just asked to stop, but I think it's worth mentioning. I think it's time we start considering not showing hope to everyone. Considering the last time we hoped everyone, war priest or war worshipper ratted us out. If you want, what I suggest instead is you start looking around to see if you can help. You can keep hope hidden, and then helping others may inspire hope.
These are people that have lost their homes in the war. I don't think they're any threat.
We also didn't think anyone in the Bastion was a threat. Let's let hope decide.
Such a weird idea, but sure.
You're going to ask the nonverbal god baby what it wants to do?
I have a system for this.
All right. Have I had it speak before? I really need to not do that. I don't want to give you NPCs.
You have, yeah.
But not really since like the second session.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Sandre, may I see baby? Our little godling hope.
Yes, only if you're very gentle. Here you go, Bronson.
I take him. You realize I'm the one that was carrying him every day until this point, right?
I know, as long as you're careful. If you take your headscarf and starts like mopping up the baby vomit.
Little hope. We have choice to make. I would like your opinion. If you remember, we have a little pat punch system of yes, no. So
cute.
I forgot about this.
I need to stop here for a couple hours. And Rorik wants to go to the south side of the river and help out. But the last time we went around parading you, War found out where we were. So I suggest that we can either show you around and risk that War has a spy here, or we can keep you hidden and just help out whoever we can for a couple hours. If you would like to be shown, pat my chest twice.
Make a religion roll, Bronson.
Reed, you get a haircut?
No, it just looks nice is all.
Fair enough.
Nope.
That's what happens when you're cocky right before you roll. Yeah, it just looked good.
Sorry,
Okay.
Reed.
All right, continue.
I'm not that concerned.
I'll roll them next time.
All right. I hand the baby to Rurik, or the godling.
You still don't get it, huh?
You get what?
Hope wants hope.
Hope wants hope. I want hope to stay alive.
Right, but the answer will always be yes.
So you're saying that we should ignore the godling's wish?
Nope. Okay, I'm out.
I'm sorry, I must have missed some sound cues. Did it say that it wanted to?
There was no sound cue. So Bronson came.
Was that Rorik or was that Isaac?
No, me, Isaac.
Okay, because it could have easily been Rorik if you were just looking away.
Okay,
It would've been
then it
just as
was
funny.
me too. Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Yeah, it was Rorik.
Okay.
Did it pat your chest? I don't understand.
Patted chest, yes.
Okay, I see. Sorry, it spoke once, and I expected it to be able to speak, but it hasn't spoken again since. So I don't
very
know.
tired.
Yep,
Okay.
that's why it's yes. Obviously.
I will hand work the baby and then say, but after all this, we need to start hiding Hope. We cannot show it everywhere we go. We'll just keep being found.
Rorik, please make a religion roll upon being handed the baby.
Oh boy.
What is the target number for this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever this is. Okay. We switched religion, so I actually have a benefit for this now.
Nice.
There we go.
I think Bronson's going to be the last one.
Wee. Hello, Rorik.
Hello, Joshua. What is this?
As you were handling Hope, you realize that Hope is bigger than before, and its presence feels more present. And you are getting this feeling, that same hopeful feeling you've had every time you've interacted with Hope till now, but the power is starting to tap into what you have felt before. In the times when the gods were plentiful and the gods were strong, you were able to tap into this feeling, and kind of pushing yourself into it, you realize that you can get from Hope what you've gotten before, but not nearly as intensely, but you learn the light cantrip.
Cool.
Whee! Welcome back.
I'd say it's good to be back, but it isn't.
What? I am all the gods, not just the god of telling. I am all. I can just smite you.
Not if I become the god of rubber and just bounce it back.
Yeah, that means you're
That's exactly how that works, right?
Well, then I'm... No, you're the god of glue.
AJ, certain people who are not sitting at their keyboard right now are at Skypia, so be careful.
Or at what?
What?
It's a One Piece thing, which I know AJ's watched that arc, so shush.
Yeah, like...
Shush. Zuba just got there.
Alright, cool. Yeah,
I did tell him it's your favorite arc, though, because I remember you saying that.
At the time, it's been years since then. Alright, well, since we have Zuba away, let's talk about our sponsors. Today's sponsor is this cast iron skillet. It's a nice skillet.
Is it a lodge?
No, it's not a lodge. It's a...
Crack a motherfucker over the head.
It's a nice skillet,
Cuisinal.
Cuisinal. It was why I was late to game today. I was out acquiring this skillet. For $10, this skillet was made mine.
It's a good deal.
Cast iron skillets.
It'll last you several lifetimes.
Best cookware
Well,
you
that's
can ever
unlikely.
own.
Unless we're talking about very short lifetimes.
Cast
Otherwise, it
iron
will last
good.
AJ one lifetime, and then it will no longer be AJ's.
Right.
I mean, it depends on whose lifetimes we're talking about.
Right. If we're talking about
somebody
fly
else and they
lifetimes,
die, if I give it to somebody else and they die and then I get it back, that's a lifetime it went through.
Also,
Yeah.
it depends if you can.
If
you think about royal you or universal you, then it will last you several lifetimes.
if
but
you
not
bequeath
you
it to somebody
specifically.
and then hit them over the head with it,
Yeah,
that's a
That's
lifetime.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Several lifetimes.
Or it could be measured in Drosophila melanogaster lifetimes, which some of us will
I
know.
have no idea what you're saying.
Is it just Reed who knows?
Of what?
Drosophila melanogaster?
Stop.
What, and their, like, couple-day lifespan?
Yeah.
Stop. No more. We already took genetics.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Zuba
don't
also
think
took it.
let's go back to the fun thing. Now that Zuba's back.
Animal behavior?
Have you ever peed on the toilet seat instead of on AJ's face? Me neither.
Okay. So we're splitting up, I guess.
Yeah, Bronson, do you want anyone to go with you, or
Anaya is looking for any opportunity to get off the boat.
So and I will probably get off as soon as it hits the northern shore.
As soon as it hits the shore, she's off the boat.
So there's a north shore and a south shore that are not connected, so you would have to land on both separately. Which shore does an eye get off of?
I know.
Whichever we land at first, honestly.
Probably the north shore because Bronson has a time limit, so it would probably be dropping Bronson off so he can do his thing, and then dropping the rest of the group off.
So I'm getting off with Bronson. Whether Bronson likes it or not, I'm getting off with Bronson.
So the ship pulls up on the north bank, which no one has asked about why. Also, you're leaving the protection of the Empire doing this, which the captain or whatever, the skipper explains to you, saying, "We are not allowed to be doing this, and we cannot protect you if anything happens. I will not follow. I will leave." And then drops you on the north side, and Bronson doing what Bronson needs to do, traveling north, and then Anai just jumps off the boat, kisses the ground, and just lays down for a little bit, as the boat then pulls off the shore and goes to the other side of the river.
Anai then looks back and is like, how are we getting back across, Bronson?
I think I jumped off at the last second.
Is your goal just to antagonize Bronson?
No.
So, do you jump off into the water or onto dry land?
I think my boots are in the water.
Great. And your skeletons are fully in the water and kind of swim down a little bit.
Yep.
Then clamber out and walk back.
Yep.
So, Bronson, after you see Anai kind of pleading on the ground and then get confused and say, "How do we get back?" you turn to look at the boat and see Griswold just standing in the water as the boat is sailing away without him.
Are you fucking kidding me? If you die, it's not my fault. And I assume that come noon, Rourke and Sundry will meet back at the boat and take boats back to this coast. Or to this shore. Probably a little bit further down, but not that much.
Okay. What are you looking for here, Bronson?
Wait, what? We're staying. He's going.
What do you mean, Griswold?
It's a solo mission. You weren't supposed to get off.
You two are already.
Didn't want to stay on the boat.
Just fucking move. Bronson turns and starts heading north.
Oh no, this is a bad idea.
Anai takes a moment, but then starts to follow.
Okay.
Do you just stand there, Griswold, or do you follow him?
I'll follow at this point. I'm not staying alone on the fucking north side.
Yeah. That would be why Bronson said to fucking stay with him.
Well, that's why I was going to stay with Anai.
Alright, so the three of you start venturing north.
Stealthily.
I was going to say. Everyone make your rolls. Griswold, I'm pretty sure you have disadvantage because of your skeletons.
I do?
Yeah.
Can I make them stay?
I don't think you can.
Oh,
I think they're bound to you.
So
doesn't matter.
Bronson knows.
Are you sure?
Oh my
Are
god.
you sure it doesn't matter? Are you sure?
Disadvantage didn't even do anything for you. That was your first roll anyway.
That is a 1 and a 2. Wow.
Oh boy.
That is the 15th nat 1.
Woo!
Poor Bronson.
Followed by a 2, nonetheless.
Yeah. Bronson, would you like to roll?
He did.
Good.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did?
I rolled a
Oh, he
20.
got a 20.
Poor Bronson. That's why I said
Bronson, are you leaving them behind? You are
No.
welcome to abandon them and maintain your stealth, or you can stick with them and take their stealth score.
You're better suited to leave us behind, but like be near.
Yeah, so it's probably like Bronson manages to get by on his stealth, but then hears when someone else hears them, and then also hears when if someone else detects them.
Narratively, Anai is just trying to like keep Griswold from talking with his with the skeletons. Like that's entirely what it is that like every like couple steps Anai is like trying to shh and like hold a conversation with Griswold at a low volume, so that way like they can stealth and like Griswold isn't like, you know.
Orson, what do you think?
Right, by having a conversation
Orson,
with Griswold,
keep it down. We're trying to be stealthy.
She can keep him focused on not the skeletons, but then it's just a shit show.
All right. Griswold and Anai, you can make a perception roll at disadvantage. Bronson, you can make a perception roll.
Ooh, a disadvantage hurt.
Great. Griswold has no idea what's going on. Although Anai and Bronson, this is a good portion of time into the journey. You've probably been walking about an hour towards the north. Bronson, you're getting close to the site you know of. When you see that there is some movement. Let's see. We're moving across some hills with some sparse trees. And you notice atop one of the hills, under one of the trees, a shadow stands up. And now you notice it as well. That something stands up beneath the tree. And then you see two more stand up next to it.
How far away are they?
300 feet.
Anai reaches down to her waist and feels the flail there for a second, and then turns and pulls out her quarterstaff again, or like just redoubles her grip on her quarterstaff.
Bronson, realizing that there's someone off in the distance, kind of freezes like a deer in headlights, trying to keep himself hidden, but does draw his sword.
Is this the magic sword?
This is the magic sword.
Okay.
The sword.
And waits to see if Anai and Griswold will catch up.
Great. So basically the two of you are in wait for whatever happens next to happen mode?
Ostensibly taking the dodge action as we move forward.
Well, what happens next is one of them raises a horn to its lips and blows into it.
Oh shit. I have a question.
Mine
different
was better.
Tribes could have different kinds of calls.
Yes.
Different horns. Do I recognize which horn this is?
Make a history roll with advantage.
Mine's an actual horn though, Josh, so fuck off.
Yeah, but yours was terrible. You're getting there. You're supposed to go like...
I remember Lulu's Bell somewhere, but I don't know where that went.
Isn't it... Basically? Yeah. Yes, the call of the tribe of the Balmung. Yeah. Music, am I right? So anyway. No, Bronson, you do not recognize this call. You do recognize enough to recognize that it's not one that you recognize. As opposed to one that you have forgotten or cannot place, you acknowledge it's not one you know.
So it could be a new one.
It could be a new one, or it could be one from far away.
Okay.
Griswold's gonna quickly look at an eye and just say, "We running? We stay. Running? Stay."
Prepare to fight, but also like just prepare to fight. And she moves back to like stand in front of Griswold as protection, almost.
And running, and running.
Are you still moving forward, or are you just staying where you are?
At this point, an eye like moves back to be like like in game 5 feet in front of Griswold as like a defense in a very defensive position.
Right, but are we walking forward, or are we staying where we are?
Staying where we're at.
I lay down.
Cool.
That's not a bad idea, considering not only do you hear an answer, a call, another horn off in the distance, but the one with the horn is walking down the hill, while the two still on the hill take out their bows and notch arrows.
Damn it! Why can't I be 3rd level for this?
Because you went north before reaching 3rd level?
No, I want to deflect missiles. That's all.
Shit.
Anaya's just looking at Bronson for advice and what to do next.
I also like the idea that what you've done is you've like done your first step outside of Tutorial Village. Just like, oh, what happens if I go outside the gate? And it's like, oh no, we're staying in the gate. Like that's I like that. I'm enjoying this. So yeah, there's just one who's walking down the hill towards the two of you.
Standard, or how culture in the north, would they normally talk to the people first? Like with what he's doing, does it seem like he wants to find out what they're doing here before they attack?
Yes.
They're not firing arrows immediately, so
I will sheathe my sword and start walking towards him.
At this point, I want a hard cut to the other side of the river as they hear horns.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a river in between you and them.
How fast is the river moving?
It's a decent speed river. The thing is, water creates a lot of. Oh, I guess if it's slow enough, it would carry sound, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say so. Make perception rolls. Yeah. It won't be a high DC, but
for who? Everyone?
No, Sundry and Rorik, the two who aren't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're cutting to the other side of the river as you hear a horn being blown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, okay. That's the 25th nat 20.
All right.
Jeez.
I don't know what to give a nat 20 here.
You hear it. You know where it comes from.
Yeah. You guys both hear the horn coming from across the river, and Sundry, you feel something turn in the pit of your stomach. But more than that, you feel a shift in your bag. You'll give me a moment to deal with that.
I shifted my bag?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a familiar wisp?
You can look. But give me just a second.
All right. This quick pause in our video has been brought to you by Genesee Beer. It tastes like the Genesee River, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's been this way for a very long time, served in many bars, and even since 1878 can be found out as far as the boonies of Vermont at the gas station 2 minutes down the road. Jenny Beer. I'll have a Jenny, please.
Thanks.
AJ, you're muted. Try again.
Almost as good as Founders Mosaic Promise Beer. It's Founders is a craft brewery from Michigan, and its beer is found all the way out in Syracuse, New York. So get on that, Genesee beer.
Or brought to you by Westchester Tap Water.
Boo.
Good tap water.
Almost as bad as beer.
Not as bad as Flint's.
Hey, Westchester Tap Water is good tap water. Not as good as Syracuse tap water.
Is it the same tap water that is used that you get in the city, or is it from a different source? Okay, so it's not the bagel and pizza tap water; it's a different tap water.
Yeah, it's not.
I really want to take a sample of like New York City water and just really test it and analyze it to see if there's actually.
You want me to send a sample to Wales?
Yeah, let's get it like a chemical analysis.
Oh hell yeah!
Let's do a comparison compared to like LA and.
Because there's also I have my friend Emil is literally a chemical engineer and has been focused in water quality and has a lot of. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah. Get us a chemical breakdown of the New York City water
spectroscopy.
Yeah. Get us the spectroscopy of the New York City water compared to the like Syracuse water versus like a couple other sources to really see if it's just fucking bullshit or if there's actually something different in the water.
So anyway,
it's lead.
Sundry. Do you look inside your bag?
Yes, I do.
You have a particular object in your bag that has rolled a little bit on its own accord.
That's weird. Why is it doing that? What object?
A particular black sphere you own.
Oh, shit, fuck, tits ass. I examine my relic.
Yeah, examine it.
What do I roll to examine, or I just examine? Oh shit! No, I see where this is going. Oh my gosh! Yes. Oh my gosh! Yes, where is it?
I put it in the wrong section.
Fuck.
But it's there.
Okay, but like, where do I look?
At the bottom, the last thing written.
Oh no. Goons, really? Okay, good choice of word. Okay. Okay. I'm holding a black sphere in my hand, looking terrified at what I see in the bubble. And I say, Rorik, we gotta go. We gotta go get our pals. Like, right meow.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. They're in trouble.
We just dropped it. It's been like 30 minutes. Time.
Yeah, I know, and it's 30 minutes too late if we don't move fast enough. We gotta go.
So much trouble already in such a short amount of time.
Rorik, this is not how we should view our friends.
Also, what is that ball? That black ball you hold?
This is my relic. It's important to me. It helps me see things, Rorik, and I'm seeing something that I don't want to be seeing. So we got to get our asses across the river to help our friends.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Yeah, wham blam, yes, ma'am. We make our way.
Where did you say?
The baby at?
What?
Did you say you forgot it was?
No.
What did you say? What was the beginning of that?
Don't worry about it.
Ugh, screw you. I'll look back at the recording.
Where the baby at?
I have it.
Okay, we make our way across the river. And, like, make our way towards our pals.
Yeah. But, That's
gonna be a while.
Are you walking or are you running?
Well, we're still
to the best of
the barge, right?
Right, but once you are docked on the other side, basically you're not going to be able to interact with the next upcoming scene, but I want to know when roughly you will be able to interact.
We have done our best to get across the river. If that means using the boat, we use the boat.
Oh, you use the boat and you have no control over how long that takes. But once you hit shore, do you run? Rorik, you would have to be probably tracking because you don't actually know where they went.
You're saying once we get on the north side.
Right.
How quickly do we enter the scene there?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Josh, do you think my familiar would know characteristics or sense or anything about the party to lend a help action to Rorik?
I mean, the extra set of eyes will be able to lend the help action to Rorik.
Okay,
It's basically the only good familiars are, anyway.
Yeah.
I have
Help
my
actions.
I'll help you out, Rorik, so you can roll with
Okay.
it if you got it.
And I want to move at a brisk pace, but focus on my tracking so that we don't get ourselves turned around because I've never been up here.
Okay.
So, hastily but carefully.
Gotcha.
Survival.
With advantage.
Boom.
Beautiful.
21.
Okay. So
I'm not getting the chat. Give me a second here.
we're gonna get back to the other three, because you two don't. Nothing will happen for you two until things happen for the other three. So back to the other three. As you know, you're standing and waiting, ready. You see that this figure on the hill, as it gets closer into view, is a half-orc who stands about probably 6'3". Not a very stocky build, but you can see he's not wearing a shirt. He has a band that goes across his chest where you see that the horn is hanging from. He's got two. They just look like flattened, sharpened steel rectangles on hilts. I don't know what kind of sword that would be, but it doesn't look like it's very effective as a sword. It looks like just a sharpened club, basically. But he's got two of those on his sides, and his body is definitely cut as a warrior, and there are scars all along him. And you can see he's got the protruding bottom teeth as he walks down the hill with a kind of a smug look. Well, oh, right, they're Russian. Well. Who is it that has come across the river, huh? This is Transylvanian, this is not Russian. Man, Ruski. So, who are you? Why have you come to the north?
This is the battlefield where my wife died. I came to pay my respects, that's all.
And you didn't? What cowardice are you?
Can you talk? Say it again?
And you didn't? What cowardice are you?
I lay side by side with her. I lived, she died. That was all. I would gladly trade places with her if I could.
Well, unfortunately for you, child of the past, this is not your land. You cannot walk here freely. And you, not only that, but you brought two outsiders. Do you know the ways of this land now?
I have traveled your lands before, but it has been many long years.
I'm not speaking to you, outsider.
So it's been a long time since I've ran into anyone else in the north, even when I came back here. But I can't imagine things have fallen so far that you would not even let me pay respects to my beloved.
And let me give you a hint. Let's work on your imagination, shall we? You will be coming with me and your two companions, and we'll see what is to be done with you. I believe the sack the frightened one has will be a nice beginning. Take it from him and give it to me.
Good sir, you would not harm an honored guest of the Shirog.
Sorry, say that again?
You would not harm an honored guest of the Shirog. Shirog.
He's saying the name of my tribe.
Yeah, of Bronson's old tribe.
And what I assume happens is that he grins and Bronson puts his hand to his head.
Oh, he grins, spits on the ground, and says, "They have no honor. So They cannot have an honored guest.
You want my sack?
Is that really how you speak?
Yep.
Initiative?
It would be a surprise round. He's not drawn. If you attack him now, you can attack him surprise round.
My weapon is not drawn either. I sheathed it when we walked up.
Okay, so yeah,
and
initiatives.
I still had her staff out.
Can I give him my sack first, please?
Not if Bronson attacks him. If Bronson attacks him while you're handing him the sack, Bronson can get the surprise round.
Do what you do, man. I'm approaching him with my sack.
Hot.
Oh yeah.
I said Anaya gets priority first. And I had her quarterstaff out.
Anaya's not going to move to attack.
All right, so we are into surprise round. If Griswold or Anaya are going to attack, they can. If Bronson's going to attack, he can.
I worked really hard for this sack.
How many did you kill?
Huh?
How many did you kill?
Oh. Like me personally?
Yes.
I think I'm at 57. My crew? Thousands! Tens of thousands!
Roll persuasion. Because I was not expecting that answer. Okay. Well, maybe you should be speaking for the coward then, huh? Although I do not like your voice. Bag.
Shake?
No.
Sword.
Okay. Roll to hit with advantage.
Am I allowed to rage first, or does rage have to be done during my...
You can rage. You can take a whole action, a whole turn, I think.
Alright. And then...
Yeah, I'm gonna life tap him too, because he's trying to take my shit, and I don't take kindly to that bullshit.
Oh, great. So both of you are just gonna attack him. Great.
Oh, yeah. Nobody takes my shit.
I was, I'm, that's gonna hurt. Oh, that's gonna fucking hurt.
That's the 26th nat 20.
Do you know what the best part is?
Huh. Do you
half works? Yep.
So you get to roll 6d6.
That's savage.
Yep. So let's see. That did...
Oh!
Whoa!
There you go.
I didn't... That's not level 2 damage.
So that's
two more.
No, that's only 2 d6s, right?
Right.
No,
yeah.
4
That's
d6s
4
total.
d6s. So you get 2 more d6s.
So that's
so you just
27, 29 damage.
With the magic longsword, that does something different around dwarves, who happens to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go get my book to see how much health this guy should have. Also, Griswold, you have advantage on your attack roll because it's a surprise round. That was your advantage. All right.
It's going great.
Yeah.
Great tonight.
Hey man, that doesn't count towards the nat 1 count though.
I suppose you are technically right.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Still doesn't feel good.
No, of course not. So the way I see this happening narratively, Griswold has his sack in one hand, is looking to shake the guy's hand in the other, and reaches out as energy cackles from his hand, like tries to grab a hold. The other guy pulls his hand back just as Bronson swings this longsword into him.
Yeah. I would like to add something to this. So the half-orc speaking tells Griswold, maybe you should speak for a coward, and then turns to get the bag, and you can see, like, you can't quite see Griswold because the other half-orc's blocking view, but you can see an eye that Bronson's just had enough of being called a coward, and draws his sword, and you can see the fury in his eyes as he rages.
Okay. So he's not dead.
Initiative?
Oh yeah, we're into initiative.
Oh boy.
So he has taken 29 damage though.
Oh.
That's not a very high
I forgot to click.
Oh yeah, so drag your people into the map if you can. Or actually it's not really that big a deal. Oh, which one is which?
God damn it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Fabulous, man.
Good job, team.
Mm,
Bronson, you got an 8?
Yep.
I gotta refresh real fast.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make my roll. Let me grab a face for this.
My highest roll so far, a 7. Zuba.
Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all.
All right. I was having the time pass while we waited for AJ to reload, but
sorry, I hit a button and opened up chat into a separate window and then closed it and I couldn't get it back out.
I actually did that. That's why I had to refresh a few minutes ago.
Well, team.
Sensitive.
I have rolled a natural 1 for my initiative. So I guess we're all sad.
Your initiative's gotta be better than mine though, right? You gotta have some dex.
I have 1 dex.
Okay. That is unfortunate.
So great.
Alright.
Anai.
Yeah, Anai's gonna open up with bringing the quarterstaff down with both hands that she's been carrying. And misses with a 5.
Good. Good roll. Welcome
She's
to the 2 crew.
unhappy, and she's going to spend a key point and attack twice with her.
The 11 does not hit, but the 20 does.
Very cool.
Dealing 5 points of damage.
Okay. So I've taken 34.
Yeah. She also feels insulted. Clear that she has not traveled in the north in a very, very long time. And brings her staff down and then just kind of whips out with her knees.
And you bring the staff down, and he kind of stumbles back. But then your one knee, and he kind of turns to avoid it, and your other knee just kicks right up into his, I guess, hip, between his hip and rib, just right into his gut and the side. And you hear something shift as you hit, so you know you made a solid impact. Bronson, you take this moment, you have the opening. Sword already drawn and already tasting blood.
Yep. I'm going to go for another reckless attack.
Ooh.
Very selfless. Very
That
selfless
hits.
move.
For 10 damage.
So he's down to 44 damage, okay.
Still alive?
Still alive.
Jeez, okay.
Griswold, okay, that hits.
Yep.
49.
I rolled a fucking 1 on my damage die.
At least you hit, though.
Fuck.
So you tap 4 away. I was going to give you a chance. And he draws his 2 weapons and goes to attack now.
I like my stuff.
Who's he gonna attack?
Man, he only gets one attack? That's lame. So I'm gonna
Give him
give him 2 attacks. Screw that.
I mean, there's still the archers on the hill.
Yeah, the archers are also gonna fire, but they have disadvantage because they're 300 feet away. It's gonna be 2 attacks on Bronson.
He has advantage.
Oh. Alright, so
Oh boy.
it's just the 19 that hits, right? I only have a plus
Yeah.
5. I have plus 5. Does a 13 hit?
Does not hit.
Oh my
Alright.
goodness.
So I hit you once. But I do max damage.
Okay. But I'm raging.
So yes, it would be 15 slashing damage.
So it's going to be 8
7.
instead? 7?
7.
And then the arrow's coming down. It would be random who they're targeting. So Reed, you're 1 and 2. AJ, you're 3 and 4.
You can just click roll 2d3. Type out R slash 2d3.
So that's a nigh. Both. No, it's Griswold twice.
Great.
They have disadvantage on you though. So a 4 and a 4. So does a 5 hit you?
No.
Sorry,
No.
9. Yeah, no. So yeah, 2 arrows just fly off of the hill and just ping, ping, next to your feet, Griswold. An eye.
Anaya's gonna use the staff again and try to hit this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where are Rorik and I at this point?
Far away.
You are probably still on the boat.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Cool. Using it two-handed to get some extra damage
Nice work.
for 7 points of damage there.
Right, so we're up to 56.
Yeah.
Still
How's he looking?
standing. He is not looking well.
Submit and we'll let you live.
Submit and we'll let you live. Did you not hear the horns? We are just the vanguard.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Nice.
And again.
Nice.
There's another nat 20.
Yeah. So that's a 7. Does the 15 hit?
The 15 does.
So another 11 points of damage.
So we were at 56, and then 7 more.
No, 11 more. Hit him. Flurry of blows again.
That puts it at 67, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, he's at 0.
I probably take and crack him with the so narratively I crack him with the quarterstaff, and then again knee him in the gut, and then we'll say the knee in the gut is the 15, and then just headbutt him into the ground.
Okay. And he's still semi-conscious as he's laying on the ground. You've angered. I have to pick a Russian-sounding name.
Gurchev.
You've angered the Karen. Oh man, that's just Karen. That was bad.
Yes, we've angered the Karen.
Kirchev.
The Kierkins. There you go. Now it's not Karen.
How would you spell that? Also, that is the 26th nat or 27th nat 20.
Very nice.
Close. That's close.
Does he have anything clearly valuable
Thanks,
on him?
Iris. What?
Does he have anything clearly valuable on him?
He has a really nice horn.
I will grab said horn and run away.
Okay. Bronson, are you gonna finish him?
Oh, he's not dead?
No, he's at 0.
unconscious.
Like literally exactly 0. So
Oh,
he's
give me a
laying there
whiz-
semi-conscious.
Give me a whiz save.
I mean, I wanted to say something before killing him.
He's still alive. Go for it.
It's just a 15.
I just wanted to see my wife.
You must answer to Kirken. This is his land.
And that's the problem in the north now. Should be no one's land. And I take my sword and I chop.
Great. You decapitate an agent of Kirken. Griswold then takes everything and runs. As the two on the hillside start to run down the hill after you.
Anais says a quick prayer, and
I'd also like to point out that was a CR2 encounter with just the one dude.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Like the one guy was CR2.
Yeah.
Y'all are level 2. There are only 3 of you.
There was a nat 20.
There
was
two
a nat
20
and a surprise round.
Yeah, that'll do it. 15 would have killed me.
Yes.
It would have brought me close, but I would have still been standing.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
So they're running down the hill. They get 60 feet closer to you.
I look at Bronson. I'm going to delay until Bronson goes, essentially.
There's not really a way for me to quietly pass through the land anymore, is there?
Nope. No. Well, let's see. We have 2 who are actively hunting you, like right now, and then the horn has been answered, so another party's on its way, and there is a decapitated member of their horde at your feet.
Yep. Why couldn't you just let me visit my wife's grave?
Because this isn't that kind of world.
It's okay.
Because maybe there's other information that you can gather if you hadn't decided to kill this person.
Okay, were they really going to let someone marked as a traitor live?
No, but you might have gotten information before you died.
Nobody takes my shit, motherfucker.
Apparently.
Bronson turns. You can tell that he's gone from angry to feeling defeated, and says, "We should make way back to shore."
Anais nods and asks for you to lead the way, and takes up the rear.
And Bronson starts running towards the shore.
Great. Are we ready for a long-scale chase? Guess what we're going to do?
A long-scale chase?
Since we have matching movement speed, we're going to be making constitution rolls.
Do we, though? Do they have... What is their movement speed?
30.
Bronson, you're at 40?
No, I'm at 30. I don't...
30?
I think he gets his movement at 3.
Yeah.
I get my movement early. Yeah. I'm at 35.
That's monks for fun at low level.
Yeah, but you've got Griswold.
Yeah, I'm just probably trying to push in... How heavy is Griswold?
Honestly, surprisingly, I will be fine.
But do you have Expeditious Retreat or something?
No. But you said it's con saves, yeah?
That's true.
I will be fine.
Fast movement is 5, actually, for barbarians.
But
I'm not burdened or anything, right? Like,
but how heavy is Griswold?
If
you had to guess.
Griswold is probably about 120.
Okay.
But he also has 110 pounds of equipment.
Fucking what?
What the fuck?
And I picks up Griswold's backpack and lets him run.
Okay. You have how much equipment?
100. Dude, I'm not overburdened. It's the rules, man.
All right.
Oh,
And I actually calculated it out for you. You should be happy about this.
I appreciate what you have done for me. Thank you. However, you are running with a more than what a like, or probably what are they called? Marines run with?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're used to it, and so am I.
That's true, dude. Your quads must be huge.
It's 120 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah.
Pure lean muscle, mostly in the bottom half.
Yup.
Yeah, you just wear like loose fitted trousers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like any day you go for a swim with the group or like bathe, they'd be like, "Why do you have tree trunks?" Okay. So the plan is for you guys to just try to outrun them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So effectively what it's going to be is every turn you're going to be double moving. And just moving in a straight line. I'm thinking that we can...
So I have an honest question about this.
Mm-hmm.
How many turns are we looking at to do here? Are we looking at 3,000 feet or something absurd like that? 6,000 feet?
Yeah, you traveled for between half an hour and an hour on foot.
Cool. Did the guy have a bow? And any arrows? Like any? Did he also have a bow?
No, he didn't.
Damn. Bronson, do you have a bow?
Did, not the one who came down.
I have a javelin.
Damn it! Why do none of you have bows?
Why don't you have a bow?
Because I don't get proficiency with it until next level.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make 10 Constitution saving throws. And I will do the same. And track down whichever one you fail.
Like the order.
Yeah, the order in which you fail them is important. So everybody individually roll 10.
Okay, do we want to let people roll them in order?
Yeah. So Bronson roll first.
What's the DC, Josh?
So next question. Or I guess we'll let Bronson go first.
The DC is going to be a 13.
13.
So you succeeded the first.
1. 2.
Failed the second. Keep going.
3.
Failed the third.
Failed the third.
4.
Passed the fourth.
5.
Failed the fifth.
6. 7. 8. 9. 10.
Okay. So you failed the second, third, and fifth. Griswold.
Yes, sir.
Same thing.
10 con saves?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, 8, 9, 10.
The failure after the nat 20 is ignored, so you only fail your fifth. An eye.
So important question here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 35-foot movement speed.
Are you leaving your group behind?
No, but can I roll these with advantage because of that additional 5-foot move speed?
You can roll the last two. You can roll 2 of them at advantage. Because you're still pushing yourself. You're not pushing yourself to the maximum, but you're still pushing yourself. Like, if you were running 35 feet, you wouldn't need to roll them, but you're running 60.
Right, but I'm running out of a possible 70. Like, I'm not full-on sprinting. I am still running, just not at a dead sprint like the others are.
You and Reed have both run. Does it make that big a difference between 100% and 90%?
I don't think it makes such a difference that it's
85%, by the way.
I knew it wasn't 90. Yeah.
I would say make the DC 1 or 2 lower for an eye.
Sounds good. You got to pass the 12.
Cool.
Well, not one on the first one, so you failed the second one too.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oof. Oof.
You failed all but 2 of them, right? Because the nat 1
3.
killed your second.
Oh, nat 1 killed 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess technically 2 of them from the nat 20.
And the nat 20 passed the next one, and the nat 1 killed the next one. So yeah, you were not ready to run. But we'll see if my guys were ready to run. So I will be doing the same thing.
All right, hold on. I gotta do some counting.
My constitution is a +3.
1, 2 nat 20s, 2 nat 1s.
So I failed my first, my second, my 5th. Come on. My 6th. My 7th.
Looks like Josh is rolling.
8, 9, 10.
And my
okay,
10th.
God
damn it!
So you succeed on 9, 8, and
3 and 4.
You only succeed on 4. You don't succeed on 3. I
have a +3.
Okay.
Like I have a +3 and okay. So I only passed 4, and AJ missed 8.
Yeah.
So that means I only gained 4 on you, which puts me at 10 feet behind you.
When we get to the shore.
If everyone is running at 60,
Mm-hmm.
and I started 240 behind.
Yeah.
So I catch an eye right at the end.
I guess if I start falling behind Griswold and Bronson, I would go my full 70.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like there's a weird dynamic to that, but yeah.
Yeah, but you would have failed those anyway if you picked up your pace anyway.
Right.
So anywho, effectively, you managed to not get caught by them by the time the 3 of you run into Rorik and Sundry. But they are hot on your tails. Well, hot on a nigh. Griswold and Bronson are well ahead of Anai. Anai just has been having a struggle bus the whole time.
Right, that's struggle bus.
How far away?
You probably got about 200 feet ahead of Anai.
All right. Well, we have Rorik and such, so I'm just gonna wait till they're within 60 feet of me. If they're still running.
How many of them are there?
As we catch up with you and see the situation, I'll ask: Are they dangerous, or are we trying to fight this, or flee?
Bronson's going to look angry. He's going to say, "First lesson about the North: everyone is dangerous."
Okay, I'll try to loose an arrow at one of the ones pursuing Anai.
Nice.
All right, roll it up. You have advantage because they don't know you're coming.
That's good.
But you also have disadvantage because you're out of range, so just regular roll.
Cool.
17 hits. For
Oh,
7
hey,
damage.
and I have the bow that.
Did he just?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you have the bow that always hits.
Did he just roll a weapon attack
Pew,
with a
pew,
ranger
pew.
and was not useless?
Yeah.
Teach me the ways.
Oh, I can barely see them. Let's try it. Close his eyes. Looses another arrow.
Okay. Anai, an arrow whizzes over your head and strikes one of the people trapped running behind you, who kind of stumbles and takes a moment and to analyze what is ahead.
The other one's still running full bore, or have they both slowed for a second?
So you're still 200 feet away, so you see that Bronson and Griswold have stopped, standing next to what you think is Rorik and Sundry, but they were on the other side of the river, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. Cool. I'm not going to say anything as I keep running forward.
Okay. Rorik, you have time to loose 2 more arrows before anything else happens if you guys stand your ground.
Yeah, I'll aim for the one that I did not hit the first time.
Okay.
Because he did not slow down.
I will say that if I see spell energy pass me, I'm going to turn.
Well,
You
good
hit
rolls
again.
tonight. Oh, less damage. Oh well.
Okay,
Are
but
they still
now you can fire another arrow and hit whichever thing you want.
Right. Yeah. I'll hit the one that I just hit. The one that's closer to us.
Okay. And you can just roll the damage.
Nope. Whoopsie. Take the first one of those.
Okay. So yeah, you just fire again. Do you aim? Or are you testing the magic of this bow?
Well, I think back to the way that this man described it, and did the old man say once you hit you never miss, or was that you as the DM saying it?
I think no, that was Griswold with Identify, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I look at Griswold. Did you say I can never miss? Is that what you said? Once I hit someone, you never
Griswold's
miss.
like panting at this point.
Okay. I look away, loose an arrow.
And it lands.
Oh. What a cheater bow.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad using it.
Yeah, that's a great tool.
Does the second one slow down as well?
Yeah.
Are they still coming? Or are they not
So
coming
at
anymore?
about 100 feet, they stop. Once it seems like they can recognize that you just got some more people, they stop and kind of take a second.
Anai turns.
Yeah, I move forward.
And stands with her staff at the ready. But
You're
taking the
not
dodge
welcome
action.
in the north. If you come back through here, the Kierans, darn it. The Kierkins, we will hunt you. And they start to back up.
I have traveled long and far in these to the frozen wastelands. I have seen the poles and known its secrets. I will return and know of your stories.
They've taken damage, so they take 7 damage.
Ow. I did not understand what you said, Anai.
Anai is saying some bullshit of she's traveled here before, she'll travel here again, and if she comes across with them, they will not stand any. She will cut them down. But a lot flowier, also through panted breath.
Nobody takes my shit, fucker.
That's off in the distance. Nobody takes my shit. But Anai is like very close and says, like, I have traveled here before. I will travel again, and you will not stop me. Essentially,
Lord Kierkin owns the land.
Only fearful men own land.
Bronson would like to speak up at this point.
Remember, they're still 100 feet away from.
Yeah.
The north is my home, and all I wanted to do was visit my wife.
Then you should have fought for your home. This is ours now, and your people, cowards, are
Go
ours
before we
too.
take it, then.
Yeah, I'm just
And they
gonna
walk
keep
away.
Sorry, what was that last part?
They walk away.
Also, you're trying to have this conversation 100 feet away. That is not a viable conversation to have at 100 feet away.
I mean, they're shouting.
Fine, hold on.
Just even what you had said, Bronson. Like,
And your
Doesn't seem
people are ours too! And they walk away. Is that better?
Yeah.
They jog off into the distance.
Baywatch.
Baywatch style.
What?
Fun trip. Let's do it again. And I turns and like lightly bops Griswold on the head.
And then just like doubles over and grabs the stitch in her side. Imagine running 2 miles at a full sprint with a stitch in your side.
Oh.
I mean, you know, like the pace that marathoners run at, right?
They don't run that fast.
They run at 4-minute mile pace.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 or 5 minute mile pace for a
Reed,
marathon.
what was your mile pace?
Disgusting.
6:40 something.
40 is quite good.
6:30 actually.
So like, let's break that down into a quarter of a mile being like just over a minute and a half per quarter mile. And like when I was running track, like the 400-meter sprint was like a good time was like just over a minute for me. Like marathoners are fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that we are competitive marathoners by any stretch of the imagination, but
you're fit people.
yeah, but that's like having people run 2 miles at a full sprint is essentially running a marathon, running a 5K.
Yeah.
Competitively.
Oof.
But
anyway,
it's rough. It fucking sucks. There's a reason I don't run anymore. Very different reason than why Reed doesn't run anymore.
Yeah, Reed suffered a debilitating injury. AJ got lazy.
Yes, which I'm hopefully going to fix next week. But I do want to take a second and say Bronson's probably going to shout at something like, what the hell did that mean?
They're not going to answer you.
I know they're not going to answer me.
Okay.
I was going to say that Bronson would then chase them down, but you just said they ran away.
You can run after them. We just did it one way. You could do it the other way.
I would hold Bronson back from chasing them down.
What would be funny is the exact same thing would happen, but instead of having 2 additional party members, you would run into an entire troop of orcs.
Yeah. I mean, Rourke can lose as many arrows as he wants.
He can just go,
up to 300.
No, you gotta put a range on it.
The range is the range of the bow, 600 feet.
Yeah, 300
okay,
feet.
yeah.
600 feet?
Yeah.
Holy
Longbows are 150, 600.
They're at 100. What is that? 60 is 3 rounds. So you got 3 rounds of shots. That's actually not that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to kill them.
Yeah.
They have a 67 health pool.
Yeah.
I imagine just like half pulling, half drawing, and just launching these arrows.
No, you have to draw the bow.
Full draw, yeah.
No, just legitimately just half draw the bow. And
The arrow has to fly the distance. It will change its own direction, but it needs the force to go the distance.
Yeah, fair enough.
Effort has to be made by the archer, I see. Yeah, that's sick.
Cool.
Let me enjoy the half-drawn arrows that are definitely not sensible.
We get back on the barge. And
is the barge still waiting for us?
No, you guys. It might be. I don't know.
Can we say that I gave him a silver to wait for us?
You see Hope. Josh, wouldn't Hope be behind the ship's wheel, just like holding it and being like, "Get on, bitches"?
Did you leave Hope with a stranger on a boat?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if we brought him with us.
I think
I
we
would
took
rather
him.
bring it. I would rather have brought it with us than left it on
Okay,
the boat.
then Rourke is probably carrying the babe.
Yeah. I let Baby Hope pull the the bow back. Baby's first kill.
I probably turn and say to Bronson as he like gets ready to run forward. The Shirog are a strong people. You must have hope that they are alive. This is your first, like, this moment, and like before we started running, it was the first time you've heard Anai talk about your people.
Yeah, how do you know the name of the tribe?
Is that Bronson asking or Reed asking?
That's Reed asking. You can
Reed
choose
doesn't
not
get
to
an
answer.
Yeah, Reed doesn't get an answer. You asked a question. I made my backstory clear with what was going on with it, but years ago.
Okay.
Let's get on the barge and we can move across the other side of the river.
They have my tribe.
I am aware. And you'll find them.
Are you aware? Because if you were aware, you wouldn't have mentioned my fucking tribe. Because you would have known we're hated by everyone in the north.
Well, when I traveled with them, they were not hated. But that was a long time ago. Things must have changed, and I'm sorry for speaking.
Fucking move. Bronson kind of brushes past everyone. Before we get on the barge, because I do not want to damage someone's property, Bronson is going to put his sword away, take out a great axe, and just slam it into a tree.
Angry man hits tree out of anger.
Yes.
Does anyone react, or is everyone just going back to the boat? And no one wants to talk about the emotional trauma that he's going through because.
Do you take the axe out of the tree?
Yes.
And I is very downcast as she gets back onto the boat, and then it lasts for about 30 seconds before she's like just gripping onto something, and now she's got two roiling masses inside of her that she's not happy with. One is emotional, one is the seasickness of not even the barge moving, just like being on it, just like mm-mm.
Just so I understand right, it sounded like the Kierkin have Bronson's tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at least part of it.
Okay. How much farther north is like the far north, the frozen wastelands?
So where you currently are, or where you just were, was previously still within the territory of the Empire. In fact, you're not even that far into the Empire. So this was, to the north, the Kingdom of Nen. I suppose I can draw this. Or, I guess, indicated on the map. So, before the fall of the Empire,
Shift click is there.
There were, different parts of the Empire. We had the Elven Woodlands, or the Elfholds, as they were called. Then there was Aragorn, and then the entire centralized kingdom was called Sessin, which spread in the middle of all three of the lakes. As you moved north, the kingdom of Nen, which was here and moved off this way, was all part of the Empire.
That was all one kingdom?
That was one kingdom. That was Nen, which was broken up into different holds. Then over here was the kingdom of Quan, which spread all the way down to here, and once spread all the way to here, until some took hold or rebelled and created the kingdom of Lesserly, which was down here. Lesserly is actually where the whole empire began. It was Lesterly and the Elfholds that allied and then took over everything. So where you are currently is here, which is well within the confines not only of the kingdom of Nen, but the province of Nen within that kingdom. Then there was another province directly north, and then the frozen wastes began. This is historically where the orcs began, about here.
Got it. So we're still extremely far south compared to...
The fact that the orc raiders claim land this close to the lakes is only because of the Great War. And the power that Varys Khan gave his people to overwhelm the Empire.
Cool.
And I'll put us back on our old Empire map. So are we sailing to the other shore, or are we sailing further west?
Further west?
Yeah. Does this horn seem magical, by the way?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
But like Reed was asking earlier, the clans probably have their own horns. So you have a horn of Kerrigan.
Yep.
I'm going to guess that Kerrigan is a new name to me.
It is a new name to you.
What does that mean?
You can actually make a history roll if you want.
With advantage because it's the north, or no? Because
Yeah, I'll give it with advantage.
Oh, I don't. Alright, so it's a
13. Kerrigan sounds familiar, but not as a tribe or a tribal leader, but you may have heard it once as a name of a powerful warrior.
okay.
Yeah, so you continue west.
Bronson spends the rest of the day brooding.
I know Bronson and I are probably not going to initiate any form of conversation. Is anyone going to talk on this trip, or is it going to be a silent trudge up the river?
Griswold's probably talking to himself a little bit, but nothing important.
Hold on. I have a thing that I want to see with Griswold and Orson and the other guy. I forget his name already. Other skeleton.
Kendrick.
Orson and Kendrick. Where Griswold is trying to lead them in a shanty. Looking for them to sing parts of the shanty.
Oh no, Griswold just skips parts of the shanty.
Yeah. And just hear the rattling of bones as they're singing.
No, nothing. No. It is complete silence. Griswold just sings part, like the call and response. He does the call.
Yep.
And then the call.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or just the chorus.
Right, just
oh my god,
chorus
you just threw the response.
Yeah. He's just doing I'm a broken man on Halifax Pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Over and over, as we all just are in shitty moods. This is the humor for the audience, but it's like a little dark, twisted humor, but it's really good.
So you sail on through the day and through the night. The skipper is pretty aware of the mood of the group and doesn't feel like asking if we're gonna pull over, and just kind of keeps sailing. Because he doesn't want to deal with y'all anymore. So you pull it all through the night.
I will talk to the skipper. Just asking him if he's heard any rumors about a tribe called the Kipkin.
Of course we know the Garrigan. And they're the ones right across the river. I didn't realize they'd be posting scouts this far south. I wonder if they're going to try another raid. The Bastion and the Citadel have been keeping them off, but their numbers are growing and ours are shrinking.
Where do they get their numbers from?
I don't know. Further north?
Have you heard of them taking any other tribes?
I don't know. Look, I don't really get too much into the politics of the barbarians to the north that are raiding and killing and pillaging all those people here. No offense.
Some taken.
Anyway, we get halfway through day 2 and you arrive at this monstrous lake.
I imagine the transition is a little rough going from the river to the lake itself.
Yeah, getting
and
yeah.
Anai struggles to keep her meal down as.
Wait, you've been eating?
Barely.
You want to make a Constitution roll?
Yeah, you know it.
Not bad.
Nice. You
barely able to keep her meal down, but she does not look well. But she still looks concerned and often looks over at Bronson, but quickly looks away.
To make it onto the calm lake. And this lake is probably about 100 square mile lake. So it's a big lake.
Not Great Lakes, but big.
Yeah. It's like a Lake George, isn't it?
That sounds accurate.
Yeah, so it's a big lake.
I'm going to ask the skipper where the nearest. There must be a military outpost on the lake somewhere, correct?
You see warships on the lake.
We need to communicate with the military.
You paid me to take you up to the lake. I'll drop you wherever you want, but I gotta head back.
Bronson will kind of check with all party, make sure we're in agreement to stop at a military outpost, and then head south from here.
Okay, so if you were to drop onto the paved road, that would be a military outpost. There's a dock there with probably some warships. But as Anai and Sundry are aware, most of these warships are stationed here, but actually port at the Citadel. So they go to and from over the course of a couple days, and they don't really connect with the internal affairs. But there is a small port over here.
Over where? Do the shift hell.
So yeah, you kind of make your way over there, get dropped off, and the barge is left behind. Or it leaves you behind.
Sounds good.
So you're surrounded by a functional but not extravagant dock with a barracks and some thrown together buildings. The road that you see that connects here is new, very new. It is probably 2 years old. Anai and Sundry, and I don't know if Rorik ever made his way into Sussland in his time, but there were not roads here before. These roads were built for military movements with the mobilization of the army. So you're in the dock.
There's no portmaster or anything, or dockmaster?
I mean, there is.
Oh.
We find him.
Great.
Yeah.
We find him.
Emma, you want to handle the talking?
No.
Turn to the portmaster. We're here with important military information regarding the East Coast. We need to speak to whoever's in command.
Well, we have a messenger here. And then there's the military leader.
Military leader would be the one I would like to talk with.
You sure? He's, not the best.
As a military leader or as a person?
Both.
Yep, we want to talk to him.
Alright. Just know that he's the one who's stationed at this port because he doesn't have a role here. So the ships you see out in the lake come from the Citadel. What the military commander here's role is to make sure whoever's in this port gets fed. He's not actually a tactician.
So if we needed an urgent message passed on to military leaders,
You'd probably want to go to the Citadel.
This seems inefficient.
Well, we're on our way there next.
Yeah,
Eventually.
the inefficiency, Mr. Skeleton Man, is probably based on the fact that we've lost probably over half of our people. Our armies were sent out and almost no one came back. The ones who are able to patrol and defend this land are the only ones we have left, and they're positions that need to be filled. Some people
are the
take
armies
advantage of
sent
that.
to the north?
Hmm?
The armies you speak of, were they the ones sent to the north here?
One sent to the north, the one sent west, the one sent south.
South. What do you mean south?
We don't have our land to the south. The Empire of Quan is completely collapsed, and
Is
most
the Empire
of
of Quan on the other side of the river zone or on the inside, internal?
huh?
Is
Other
Quan
side
on
of the river.
the internal or the other side of the river?
Other side of the river.
Cool. That was AJ asking, not an I.
Yeah. I mean, everybody is warlords and infighting. We're just trying to keep our borders alive. I mean, I can get you a bird. We can send a bird to the Citadel.
I would rather trust a human messenger, or the messenger you spoke of.
Yep. He usually uses birds.
Oh.
Birds, huh? What kind of bird?
How long would a bird take?
It'd be in the Citadel by sundown.
How far away from the Citadel do we know?
3 days?
If you were to travel by river, it would take you 2 more days. Traveling by foot, it will take you, 3 or 4?
We discussed this last week, and it was, if we went by river, it would be 6 days. If we went by foot down to the central bastion and then west, it would be 6 days. And so even breaking the middle is still probably 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done...
That probably adds like a day. The diversion we're doing. I'd say. I mean, I don't know.
You've done 3. I'm gonna say you've done 3 to make it easier. So yeah, you're at the halfway point if you continued up the river. If you go on land, yeah, it'll probably be 4 more days. If you get a horse,
Okay.
it'll be less.
Let's send a message, and that way when we arrive at the Citadel, either they'll have the information already, or they'll
Expect our arrival.
Expect us, exactly.
Or it will be intercepted by the wrong people, and you will be giving information to the enemy.
Which is why I'm going to suggest that we not include what we're carrying.
No,
Or even
no,
who
just
we are.
the information about the priests.
Agreed. No.
What's that glowing thing on your chest?
Given that we had just discussed keeping Hope hidden, I would say that over the 2-3 days, Bronson has figured out how to keep Hope covered and in a bag.
It's called a blanket.
What's that glowing hand popping out trying to get air?
The gods
called
don't
a
need
blanket.
air.
Yeah. And if I'm
Shove
telling
it in a backpack. Who cares?
Give the man some privacy.
and I'm assuming that if I'm doing this, I'm telling Hope we need to keep you hidden. Stay in the bag.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny.
It was a good time, Josh. I appreciated it.
Thank you.
Why does it sound like there's a crying baby in the bottom of your backpack?
Don't worry about it.
Why
Here's
does
a
it
gold
sound like there's
piece.
just a
Yeah.
the slush of meat as you shift around your bag?
Where's the messenger?
He walks you over to him. It's got like a big roost of birds. It's a guy with wiry white hair and thick spectacles. It's a
We need a
halfling,
message
actually.
sent to the Citadel.
What?
We need a message sent to the Citadel.
Great.
There are war priests that are going to. Have they landed at this point, knowing that it's like a 1.5-week trip?
I believe our estimation says that they have not landed yet, but are landing soon.
Yeah, I mean, you have no way of really knowing that.
Right, but I'm doing a rough guesstimate.
Your rough guess. Well, Bronson's rough guesstimate is that they're on your heels and you're going to die tomorrow. But a more reasonable rough guesstimate is they have not yet landed.
Also, we
Okay.
should have called the dude because we struck down somebody.
What?
But we were also in the middle of running.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just to see if it worked.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's carrying that stone, by the way?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
I think it's fair to assume if no one says it, it's Griswold.
I thought Rorik had grabbed it.
It's
Rorik
usually
or Bronson.
Rorik who grabs it away from Griswold.
Rorik does have a lot of stuff, actually. I've been
Yeah.
keeping track of some of the stuff. Rorik has like 3.
Yeah, I can say that I have it, but if anybody asked for it, except for Griswold, I would hand it over.
Oh wow,
If anybody
Griswold is
wanted to
the
investigate
opposite
it.
of both Bronson and Rorik.
Yeah, that's true.
How so?
Yep.
Well, you're the opposite of you're you're carrying skeletons,
Oh, yeah.
so you're the opposite of Bronson, and you're hoarding things for yourself, so you're the opposite of me.
Amazing.
Which is
Love it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
There are war priests that are going to be arriving on the East Coast soon. In a small village called Tikva.
He scrawls it on a paper. How do you know this? Who are you?
I am an eye. They will recognize my name.
Oh, I recognize your name. So where have you been?
In Tikva.
Right. Do you have your seal?
Would an eye have been given a seal?
You probably have had a signet ring for decades.
Cool.
The
I'm
question
gonna
is if you
say
kept it or not.
I've kept it, but I've split it, so it is currently damaged. So I pull out my bag and it's like, oh yes, one moment. I reach into my bag and pull out a seal that has a large split across it, and move to stamp.
Well, I hope they recognize it with that fault in the middle. I know of a good welder in the Citadel if you need it repaired.
Possibly.
Well,
I'm gonna roll insight on him.
Oh, that's not insight on the dude.
Oh, on you?
Yes.
How's a nat 20?
I am really happy Anai is the one that rolled the nat 20.
Oh, it wasn't me.
It was me.
I'm going to say everyone but Sundry.
Of course.
You can tell, like you can pick up the feeling from the way Bronson's phrased things, and how he's been even more brooding. He's contemplating just letting you guys go west. Meaning not going with you.
Meaning, Anai, you realize that Bronson is considering going north on his own.
Yeah.
That we can deal with that later, but I wanted to get that.
Yeah.
Down.
Well, we can deal with everything later. It is 9:40, and this is a pretty good stopping point. Unless there's more people wanting to get done specifically now.
2 more minutes. Gotta do it
No,
real
I think
quick.
this is a good spot of we send and I will after a little bit of being able to catch her breath and be off on solid land and getting this message fully sent. She's like, we should still talk to the captain here, and let's start moving in that direction. If nothing more than for shelter for the evening. And she guides everyone towards shelter.
Oh man. Griswold is definitely going to say something to Bronson about him wanting to go at some point.
Do we want to do that now?
Yeah, I might as well, because I'll forget if I don't.
Cool.
You think they need you, don't you?
Sorry?
You tried?
Yes.
What's stopping you?
That we're carrying the embodiment of hope.
Seems pretty hopeful that you can save him.
Griswold, not now. And I chides at Griswold.
What? I'm saying he's got a chance.
I don't understand whether you're being rude or hopeful.
Good.
All right. I think we cut. We pan out as the party is approaching the harbor, the harbor master's gates, and knocking on the door. And this is a good spot for us to pick up for next week, I imagine.
All right.
As we walk, the Griswold Bronson conversation happens, but yeah, we end as we approach.
Sounds good.
Thank you to everyone who was out there this evening. I hope you enjoyed. See you again next time. Arrivederci. Streaming.